Path of Night is an actual play Vampire the Masquerade podcast set in the classic world of darkness. We're all friends, we're here to have fun, but our story can include graphic violence, drug use, sexual content, and other mature themes. We've talked at our table about safety, comfort, and consent both as players and storytellers. We know what to expect, we're all excited to be here, and we want you to feel the same. So listener discretion is advised. Now, let's walk the path of night.
Wynn, it's been some time since you've been back to the Haven, ever since all of the sacrifices and monstrous fights and the arrival of the Sabbat. But it's quiet, and the forest is starting to show signs of spring.
It gets muddy this time of year. I mean, that explains a lot of the conditions of Wynn's boots. But it does mean that there's not as many people, which does give her a lot more time to think.
And you can smell this, like, earthen, kind of, muddy and that melting snow scent as February kind of starts to warm up for you some. This is kind of the first time you've really had a moment of tranquility since the chaos that happened back at Elysium.
I mean, it's tranquility in so much that I'm not being expected to do anything, but Wynn is wrestling with a lot of guilt at this point. There's a lot of misplaced correlation that if she hadn't been helping Joey, maybe she could have saved Neil.
An impossible choice.
Was it even a choice?
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever a point where it was fair to choose when it should have been her choice who lives, who dies? She's wrestling with that very concept of how much agency did she really have in the outcome. She holds Joey's whistle usually every day and just kind of looks at it and thinks about all the things that led to her being able to hold it in her hands. If Joey's around, she makes sure that he knows she still has it.
It's eerie because you can never quite hear the steps that he takes. He doesn't speak much, but when you turn and kind of look carefully, he's always kind of somewhere by you, exploring and coming to understand this new world that he exists in. Now, from the shack, you can see the silhouette of a man with the glint of cat's eyes kind of staring at you. And he rounds the corner and disappears. You recognize this as the Wraith, Mr. Perfect, who seems to have come to pay you a visit.
You can come talk to me. I see you.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, so what do you need to talk about?
Big conversations.
All right, well, I got time.
Good. Who's the kid?
None of your business.
He's cute.
My time is running out.
Be that way. I found something weird. Real weird. And it's in the Skinlands now. And I thought maybe if I help you do a good, you'll help me know what's going on.
We'll see what we can do to help each other.
You ever been to the Holy Land?
I was at Woodstock.
Nah, Waterbury. The Holy Land. So what do you say? You up for a ride?
Not your kind of ride.
Then your kind of ride.
Yeah, let's go to the fucking Holy Land. I'm sure you love it there.
I do.
Yeah.
It's mine, he kind of says, coming out of the dark to, walk over towards you. Bone thin and lanky and just this uncomfortable thing.
Let's go.
He goes to follow you along and is always kind of looming and watching the boy, but he never makes a move. Eventually, the two of you make your way to Holy Land, which is up on a mountain. There is this huge shining cross that overlooks the crime-ridden city of Waterbury. Once up there, you can kind of smell piss, alcohol, and just pain. All of the little, statues and what could have been rides are all kind of like there, strung about, covered in graffiti, and it is just awful. He seems empowered just being there. So, sometimes the locals like to hide people here. And I'll take the bodies for a ride.
Of course you would.
But right now, you see, I can't do that with the last batch.
Okay.
The storm that's coming in, it's real fucking bad. And it's hitting people so hard that they're just ending up anywhere. And now, he kind of crouches down and points, and moving amidst this set of images of the Virgin Mary are these bodies that kind of shamble and wander in a stupor. The dead are crossing into the world of the living. But it's not right. It's not supposed to be this way.
No, it's not.
I need you to get rid of these fucks. They're intruding. And in exchange, you get to keep your little secret, and the world doesn't know that there are dead bodies walking around.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm going to take care of this.
Yes.
Can I make an occult roll?
Yeah.
Have I ever heard of this, or would Lore Wraith be better?
Lore Wraith.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Lore.
Difficulty 6.
1 success.
With 1 success, you know that it is possible for a wraith to bond with their own corpse and walk around, but it is a very complicated and difficult process. For there to be just a handful of people doing this right here is probably unlikely. And also, the fact that these are just confused, wandering corpses is really unlike that other thing that you've heard of, becoming a revenant.
Wynn kind of puts her hands on her hips and just looks at these shamblers.
I like the way you do that.
I'm sure you do. Is he manifested?
No, God, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Come over here and say that.
I like the way you do that. You feel the chill of his breath against your back of your neck.
I drive an elbow.
Nothing.
I know.
All right, I'm going to coach you while you do this.
I'm going to try this on my own.
Well, you're a woman, so... He kind of disappears.
Oh, fuck that guy. Fuck a whole lot of that guy. And she kind of looks to make sure Joey is kind of in her field of view.
He dips his head out from behind something with his emaciated face and smiles at you and gives you a thumbs up. And then he goes back to hiding.
She returns the thumbs up and goes over to one of the shamblers and just kind of stands in front of it, kind of seeing if it even acknowledges.
Corpses all turn to look at you. There's 3 in all. And they look like they are in pain. But it is pain to the point of blind violence. And the 3 of them come like stomping and squishing their way towards you. Go ahead and give me initiative.
Can I spend a blood real quick?
Of course.
Okay.
Blood.
Spending 1 to beef my dex.
When you are first, go ahead and describe your action and give me a roll.
Wynn just kind of, I didn't want it to come to this. Secretly, she probably a little bit wanted it to come to this, but she pops claws.
Might come towards you.
And takes a swing at the closest one.
Roll it.
I'm going to split my die pool so I can make 2 attacks. 3 successes on the first one.
2 will carry over into damage. You're going to roll strength plus 3 dice of damage.
3 damage. And then the second hit, 4 successes.
Roll strength plus 4 dice.
5 damage.
You rake into them, the first one, and entrails come pouring out of his like soft, kind of squishy belly. Even as this person loses like 30 pounds of weight, he just kind of looks at you with this confused, pained look. And he attacks you.
Buddy, just stop.
4 successes. His fist smashes against the side of your head, dealing 3 levels of bashing damage. Why don't you go ahead and roll soak?
7 successes.
Yeah, he flails at you harmlessly. The other 2 go to tackle you to the ground.
Both of you knock it off.
It's like they're trying to say something, but nothing that makes sense.
Yep.
first one successfully tackles you.
Okay.
Knocking both of you prone, but deals no damage. The other one is going to like tumble down towards you and try to smash your nose in with its fist. It has 6 successes.
Okay. Am I rolling soak again?
Yeah. You will be soaking against 2 damage.
Neat.
Yeah.
1 success.
Okay, you take no damage. They attack you, and we go to the next round. Why don't you go ahead and you're gonna sacrifice your movement to stand up, and then you can make an attack if you so choose.
Do I need to make a grapple?
They did not grapple.
Okay.
Just shoulder check to the ground.
So yeah, I'm gonna get up and again, Wynn is gonna stand, claws at the ready, and say, "I need you to stop." Okay. Gonna split the die pool again. Swing at the one who tried to come for my nose.
Roll it.
4 successes.
Roll strength plus 4 dice of damage.
3 damage.
So after that strike, you smash his head in like a melon. Grime and oozing flesh cakes up to your elbows, and the body collapses to the ground.
Do I still get my other swing?
You do. You just have to pick a different target.
Okay. I'm gonna go for the guy whose intestines are mostly spilling out.
That's the one that you killed.
Oh, okay. Then the next closest guy.
Okay.
No successes on that one.
Whiff.
There's so much viscera.
The 2 remaining rotting corpses reach out and attempt to pummel you together. Wow, this is 5 successes.
Gross.
4 carry over. 2 damage.
Okay.
Roll your soak.
8 successes.
The second one reaches out, and their hand kind of becomes covered in these like pustules and mushrooms that start to bloom. And it will attempt to strike you as well. Has 3 successes, 2 carry over. And it will deal 1 level of aggravated damage.
Okay.
As it sizzles when it makes contact with you.
4 successes.
Your turn.
She takes a swing, says, "I'm sorry, I know you're in there." Splitting the dice pool. Whoever's closest, getting claws. So I'm at a -1 success.
Miss.
Swing with the other
Oh,
one.
wait. You're -1 success?
Yeah.
That is a botch.
Okay.
You fight against the rots while kind of swinging one. Loose mud under your boot gives way, causing you to slip, hit the ground, and tumble down one of the edges of the pathway. You don't get hurt very much,
Yeah.
but you're covered in mud, and you're a bit of a distance away from them now, and they're kind of wandering towards you.
Okay. Just gonna kind of shake the mud off and wait for them to come to me. Hell, I'll just start walking back towards them.
Okay. The other one starts to gain that gross mushroom effect along their hands. Grease starts to like drip from their fingers.
Ew.
2 successes to hit, to obliviate you.
I don't like the sound of that at all. No successes.
You will suffer 2 levels of aggravated damage.
What is the feeling of it? Is it like a burning? Is it a acid?
It feels like necrosis.
So like I'm rotting.
Right.
All right. Let's split my dice pool and take a swing at the closest one.
Go for it.
2 successes.
Roll strength plus 2 dice of damage.
4 damage.
On the next one.
No successes.
They're going. 5 successes to hit.
Okay. You could stop that at any time.
2 levels of damage. And this is still aggravated.
4 successes.
You're good. The other one deals no damage. Here you go.
I need these things to stop swinging as hard as I do. Wynn just swings both of her arms so that they intersect in front of her, kind of in a sweeping scissors motion. 6 successes.
Roll strength plus 6 dice of damage.
7 success.
Roll soak from the last one there.
3 successes.
Okay. Here you go. The 2 of you are at this point fighting in the mud. You're standing in the remains of the second one that you've killed. It feels like you're standing on a pool of boiled meat. Like it's just very soft. Gets between the toes.
It's like my boots.
You're doing 1 attack or 2?
1 attack.
Okay.
2 successes.
Roll strength plus 2 dice of damage.
2 successes.
Okay. And the last one, what was probably once a young woman, her, like, spandex pants are, like, torn and, like, pussy old flesh is kind of, like,
rolling out,
sagging out. And, yeah, it's very,
it's not
very
good.
not great. And she will attempt to grapple you.
Okay.
With 4 successes.
Okay.
All right. She jumps up onto you, and her tongue and lips are kind of covered in the same, like, putrescence that her hands were, kind of giving you the impression as to what's probably going to happen next.
Mm-hmm. Just like Woodstock. So I'm going to try and break the grapple.
Okay.
4 successes to break the grapple.
You do.
And I stand up.
She swings at you for 3 aggravated damage.
3 successes.
Okay. You resist your action.
Both claws, rakey rake.
Okay.
3 successes.
Roll strength plus 3 dice of aggravated damage.
1 success.
She rushes at you, swinging her fists around, and though it breaks her hand, that globule of whatever it is that she's exuding streaks across the side of your face for a level of aggravated damage.
Okay. 3 successes.
Okay, your action.
Gonna swing both hands.
Soak is on point.
Mm-hmm. Of the 2, I would rather that one be on point. 5 successes.
Ooh, strength plus 5 dice of damage.
1 success.
Mr. Perfect can kind of be seen, cat eyes glinting in the dark. He is, his expression is that of total amusement as he watches you slug it out with the corpses. Mm-hmm. She swings at you again, still like kind of just fussing at you at this point, and she deals 1 level of aggravated damage.
Yes, she does.
Okay, it is your turn.
Okay. Swinging both hands. 3 successes.
Strength plus 3 dice.
No successes. I defy the law of averages.
How many ones are you getting?
A lot.
She misses you,
Okay.
struggling to get a hold of you.
Well, we're both kind of mucked up at this point, so we're getting slithery. Swinging both hands. 2 successes.
Roll strength plus 2 dice.
Wynn, give me strength. All right, 2 successes.
She struggles at you some more.
Mm-hmm.
For 1 level of aggravated damage coming at you.
4 successes.
Okay, your turn.
Both hands. 4 successes.
Roll strength plus 4 dice of damage.
6 damage.
Okay, you lop her head off with your claws, sending it tumbling down the hill. In the Shadowlands, you see this trio now of these pained wraiths that are largely torn asunder by whatever storm it is that they were caught in, and kind of creeping up towards them with this look of glee is Mr. Perfect. You did real good.
Eat a dick.
Close. He grabs one and his jaws start to distend. Very slowly, like the way a snake eats a mouse, he shoves one of the wraiths into his mouth and just slowly sucks and gobbles it down. The other 2 are too confused and lost by whatever it is that they've gone through. And he just, one at a time, consumes these 3 wraiths.
Wynn doesn't stay and watch. She walks away.
You're missing the best part.
Just
we have
keeps-
to work together, Wynn. There might be more of these things out there. And I can help you finish it when, you finish it. We can be a team, the both of us predators.
You don't want that any more than I do.
It's working out so far.
For one of us.
Yeah, why wouldn't I want it? You feel like these tiny little fingers grab your hand.
Mm-hmm.
The kiddo kind of stands next to you, defiant of this malevolent spirit.
She kind of puts an arm around him and just keeps walking.
There's going to be more, Wynn. Eventually, as you kind of make your way down that rocky side, when making your exit from Holy Land, the 2 of you stop feeling that feeling of being watched.
Joey, you okay?
Yeah.
You see him, you stay away from him. Understood?
Understood. So what now?
We're going to find some answers. Because this can't keep happening, and I don't want him to be the first one to find them.
Is it okay if I see my mom?
I made you a promise, didn't I?
Yeah, but you have a lot going on, and there's a lot of weird stuff, so...
There's a lot of weird stuff, but
I can wait if you need...
We can make time for this, buddy.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And Wynn kind of realizes at that point that she's in no shape to go see anybody. She is covered in mud and viscera, and these Holy Land things probably should be called into Weathers. If there's anyone to try and see if there's a masquerade to even cover up anymore. Her plan at this point is to head back to the shed and hose off, find a payphone along the way, and see if there's a point to trying to call Weathers.
Okay, you do find a payphone on the way. When you call Weathers, there's actually an answer.
Hey.
What's the matter?
Night of the Living Dead is happening in the Holy Land. There's literal corpses rising from the dead.
I don't get that reference. You're going to have to explain that.
There's corpses walking around. Not coherent. They're just little better than animals.
Like whites?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go send a team to go clean that up. Okay. You need someone to pick you up?
I'm all set. I can walk anywhere. But Weathers, this is the start of something new. This has never been seen before.
Oh, great.
Because we needed more.
That's not going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to call Johnny. He'll take a look into the situation. I'll send some bully boys to back it up. If there ends up being more of these corpses coming out of that area, we'll deal with it.
Something's wrong in that area. We're going to see more corpses coming out of that area.
What the hell were you doing there in the first place?
I knew that they were rising.
All right.
Weird gangrel stuff. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I figured.
All
you
right.
have a good night.
You too. Wynn makes her way back to her shed, hoses herself off, but then does put on better clothes. Better being kind of a qualified term.
Little Joey picks up the hose, and he helps spray you off.
Well, that's new. Thanks, buddy.
He doesn't seem to know what to say, but is marveling at his own brilliance.
Yep. Look at you go, bud.
I think I can help you.
I think you can.
All right. What do we need? What are we gonna do next?
So I'm gonna take you to see Mom.
Okay.
But I don't know that Mom should see you.
No.
You're in some rough shape, buddy. Mom might be sad to see you like that.
Can I fix me?
I don't know. Do you think you can?
No, I don't.
Okay.
So, what... All right, as long as I get to see her, that's okay.
Yeah. And she'll get a chance to say goodbye, okay?
Okay.
All right, do you trust me?
I trust you.
Okay. Will you lead me to Mom's house?
Yes.
Okay.
I know the way there. I just got a little lost in these woods.
Yep.
One time, and I can do better this time.
Okay. And she'll reach out and take his hand and make sure she has the whistle.
He definitely gets lost like 4 times. But eventually, you do find your way to this little house with a little white picket fence around it. There's a driveway. There's a car in the driveway. It's got like a garage, and there's a car in the garage. At the house, you see there are 2 individuals talking. One is a woman who looks honestly a lot like the stereotype of what you would expect for like a kindergarten teacher. She's like young, she's got a very friendly, soft demeanor, and she is talking to a man that you recognize as Detective Suarez. He is wearing like a leather jacket, tie on, and is definitely like a detective. You could smell the cigarettes coming off of him from there, and like coffee stains on his teeth, and he's got that look. He's graying a little early, just a guy who's been through some shit. And the 2 of them are talking, and he's kind of trying to give some very curt counseling, and is kind of explaining, we're going to find the one who did this, don't worry. I know I can't undo what's already happened, but I'll bring you justice. And he makes that mistake that you're never supposed to make. He promises justice. The actor for doing it does cause Joey's mom to fall quiet, and she does seem a little at peace by this. Detective Suarez makes his way out and, without a word, heads off on his way probably to the next case.
Yeah, he's got a lot on his plate. Wynn stays some distance away. She doesn't make her presence known. She kind of actively tries to make sure that they don't see her. And she turns to Joey and said, "That's Mom?
Yeah.
Have you seen my owl trick?"
He gives you this super incredulous look. Owl trick?
Yeah.
No.
She takes the whistle out of her pocket and sets it on the ground.
He picks the whistle up.
"Hold on to that for me, okay, buddy?"
Uh-huh.
Wynn spends the blood and takes the time to kind of shift into a large barn owl. She sits there looking at Joey and kind of cocks her head and whistles at him.
Can I do that?
She shakes her head.
All I can do is pick stuff up?
She kind of gives him a conciliatory nod of the head.
His sadness is annihilated in the face of a cool owl.
She kind of clacks her beak a couple times, motioning for him to put the whistle in her mouth.
He heads over and very gingerly puts the whistle into your mouth.
She holds it like a golden retriever holding an egg, just very gently, aware of how precious this is that he's entrusting her with this. Someone normally so violent and so rough around the edges is the one who's having to deliver the final justice for this little boy in a way that the good detective probably won't be able to. She kind of gives Joey a look that says, "Wait here," and she takes off, lands on the picket fence near Mom.
She is startled. She does not hear the owl coming.
Nope.
But certainly notices the presence of this massive barn owl when she turns. Oh my goodness. Well, hi there, owl.
And Wynn doesn't make a whole lot of moves at first. She kind of lets Mom acclimate to the presence of an owl, which normally isn't going to be there, isn't looking to make friends. In this case, this owl has something to say.
It's like she has this very spiritual moment, kind of seeing this owl and then trying to infer what its presence might mean in this kind of very dark time for her. And she notices the whistle. Very slowly, with a hand up, she starts to approach you, having found her courage.
Wynn stays very still until Mom gets close enough that she can drop the whistle in her hand.
The moment the whistle lands in her hand, it's like a shock to her. Tears well up in her eyes, and she has this very cathartic cry that starts to consume her. She doesn't say anything, she just starts to, weep and weep.
Wynn doesn't, as an owl, can't really do a whole lot to comfort her, but stays. She just kind of lets this woman have this moment with this owl and the message.
The crying kind of hits a point where she's on her knees. I mean, it's not that she's upset at the owl at all. It's very clear that she is feeling like maybe death wasn't the end. Maybe he's okay. She's going through a lot of very raw emotions. And little fingers reach over the top of the white picket fence and kind of peeking, just like he had earlier. You can see Joey look at his mom, and he's got these big round eyes that are also kind of tearing up. He's kind of sharing this moment, even though he can't touch her.
Wynn kind of looks to Joey and then back to Mom, as if trying to draw a line between the two.
She follows the owl's eyes, kind of realizing that the owl sees something she doesn't. And she kind of whispers, "And I love you." He doesn't really make any sounds, but you can see his lips kind of mouth the words. Mm-hmm. And she just looks at the owl and is like, "Thank you."
The owl, Wynn, just kind of lowers its head and looks to where Joey is and kind of motions that it's time to go. And takes off.
Joey gives an understanding nod, gives his mom a last look, and kind of seems relieved that she's not afraid. And then he heads off with the owl. One of the following nights, while resting and trying to take some time to heal the wounds that she suffered at the hands of those rots, animal messengers come along, notifying her that Old Man Rusty is calling for a meeting of the clan to discuss what direction the clan will take and how they will support him in his position as primogen.
About how many other gangrel are in the city?
Just you.
That's kind of what I thought. All right, let's get this over with. Wynn kind of stands up, laces up her boots, puts on her fighting flannel.
All right.
She still wears the one remnant of the shirt tied around her wrist. She contemplates bringing the shotgun. Makes sure that her door is shut, and she heads off to the mentioned location from the animal messengers. She kind of tugs her leather jacket a little snugger around herself, concealing the strength that is the fighting flannel. He doesn't need to know she's bringing her A game right away.
Smart. You find yourself traveling to a small, old, dilapidated farm in Hamden. Out there's like a very thick tree line that kind of surrounds a bunch of this old field that used to be used. There's a campfire there. And kind of everyone's sitting at a safe distance away from the fire, is a group of your clanmates. Only Old Man Rusty is actually a member of the Camerlow. However, you do see Raven and a few other wanderers kind of coming through.
Wynn approaches and nods to Raven.
She nods in return.
She does not take a seat. She stands with her arms crossed.
Old Man Rusty kind of turns to you, his distended jowls kind of hanging from his gums. He is just this hideous, hideous old man. Hey now, I'm glad you came. I thought you was gonna run away like your cowardly friends, the ones who killed my friend. We gotta talk about that.
I'm not sure we do. My friends didn't kill anybody.
No, we gotta talk about that. Because your friend, Johnny, is Sabat.
My friend Johnny is not Sabat, and you shut the fuck up, old man.
I am your primogen.
You are not my primogen.
Johnny
I
is
do
Sabat.
not support you.
You need to behave.
I don't support you. You are not my primogen.
And listen to me, preferably with a smile.
She flips him off.
Some of the gang were watching kind of snicker at that.
I told you.
It was proven. Beyond the shadow of a doubt, I learned it myself.
How did you learn something that's not true?
I learned it from Raven, who was very smart, that he is the one that made that Xantosa a vampire.
If you recall correctly, Johnny had the right of progeny.
Johnny embraced the Sabat ghoul. Only Sabat do that.
How do you know?
Everybody knows that.
Are you a Sabat ghoul?
It's common sense. Get some.
How about you get some common sense and remember that I am here just to make sure you don't get to lead this clan into the mud.
How about you get some common sense and recognize that I'm the one in charge?
Look at your jowls flapping, old man.
He immediately makes a frenzy check at the mention of his jowl.
Found the button.
What? How dare you?
Like this, your jowls is flapping.
My jowls are flapping. Get some knowledge.
Didn't I just point it out to you?
You
and
said
you
it
almost
wrong,
lost your shit?
like a stupid person. Now listen to me. Johnny is a serious threat. As long as he has that vicissitude monster running around, we're gonna have some problems that we need to deal with.
You are the problem I need to deal with. You are the one who was sucking dick off of the Nosferatu for so long.
I do not suck dick.
That's not
You
what I
suck
heard.
dick.
See, wits is not his.
So I guess we're just a couple of dick suckers.
No, just you.
That's not what I heard. I heard from the men's room.
You ain't allowed in no men's room.
No, I'm not, but I go there anyway.
He just looks at you.
Two people with not great
Dumbfounded.
wits.
Oh my god, this is like the worst trash talk I've ever heard. just fight already.
Oh, to the men's room. Where you go to the men's room to suck dick.
I leave that for the listener to interpret.
Oh shit.
I will officially be able to say I made Erika cry twice.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Well, you guys, I am not ready. Hold on. God.
Rusty, are we gonna fight or are we gonna suck dick? Because I'm real good at both.
Dag nabbit, I'm trying to tell you that your friend Johnny is gonna ruin this city. Fine, we fight. Like, starts like storming back and forth in a circle, like can't help but pace like a caged animal. Raven fucking stops and looks at you like, are you serious?
Yeah.
That was your strategy?
Yeah.
She just looks at you, just flustered that she had to watch that. And
Wynn's not even really mad. Like, no, I deserve that judgment. That
like,
is accurate.
She's like, you right, but here it is working. Old man Rusty takes off his button-down flannel shirt takes off, exposing this, like, hairy torso of sorts, covered in, like, quills and, like, weird feathers, and he just looks at you, jaws distended, claws out, ready to go.
Wynn pops claws and drops to her fighting form. A Wolverine with horrible distended poison adder fangs and rattlesnake marks. I don't think it's rattlesnake. I think it's a copperhead pattern. Yeah, this is a horrifying looking, every bit the fierce animal that Wynn is on the inside.
Here's how I see it. One of us is going to be Primogen, and they're going to have to figure out what to do about Johnny. And that's probably going to be me, but I'll get to that later. The other one's going to do what the other one says, and they're going to act with some goddamn dignity. Do you understand? Nod, animal.
Wynn nods.
Let's go. Roll initiative. As you roll initiative, you want to spend blood for physical attributes.
Yep. I'm going to spend, while he's jammering away, I'm going to be spending up 2 to beef my strength, 2 to beef my dex.
It's going on a 14.
17.
You are first.
Yep. Balls out at this guy. Poor choice of words there. 5 successes.
All right. You are going to roll strength plus 5 dice of damage.
8 damage.
8. He will soak 3 ag, take 5 levels of damage, and he resists the urge to fly into a frenzy.
As this vicious Wolverine hissing and shrieking and ultimately just going hog wild on this, Wynn swings her muscly, beefy little arms and just sinks them deep into Rusty's chest.
He yowls in pain and is going to go ahead and take a swing at you. He's swinging you for 4 levels of aggravated damage.
If I have a stamina spec,
What's your stamina?
tough as nails,
Toughest nails, yep.
then 4 successes.
Okay, you will take no damage from his attack. He scratches and rips at you and cannot seem to get through the fur coat. It is your turn.
Swinging at him full strength again. 7.
To hit,
Yes.
roll strength plus 7 dice of damage.
7 damage.
Okay. You smash into him, rip him apart, and he begins to crumple to rapidly decomposing ash. The other gay girl like, yeah! Raven crosses her arms and just kind of watches you.
Wynn did not intend to go that far, but apparently that's where we're at. She gradually cricks her body back into her unfighting form and looks to those assembled. Gangrel, there's a new Primogen.
Woo! Some of them start like cheering. Raven does not. Very well, Primogen. What do you intend to tell his grace?
Gonna work on that.
Some advice. He died outside the city of New Haven, and therefore you did not violate the right of destruction. However, now there is a case for conspiracy against Shaw and his allies.
Cross that bridge when we come to it. There are much bigger fish we need to fry first.
That is in fact how bridges work, but you can know which way you're going before it happens.
I knew which way I was going.
Okay.
All right. So, as it stands, I've just made a liar out of myself. I have no idea which direction I'm going.
You're going to want to talk to Miles.
Yes. No, that was on the docket.
They love cleaning up messes like this.
Yes. It makes him happy, so I'm happy to contribute.
It is the very reason they created the Camarilla.
All right. Raven,
Yes.
there are some words I would like to have with you. I have nothing further for the clan who resides in the city at this time. Those who are here, you're welcome to stay the night. Don't make yourself a nuisance.
No problem. They all seem very ready to not upset you. No one goes to pick up the remains of Old Man Rusty. He just kind of decomposes there, right where he died. Raven kind of sits and crosses her legs. Tell me what is on your mind.
A lot, Raven. There's a lot that I can't control, and this was something I could.
And you wanted to speak about what you cannot control?
Yeah.
Okay.
First and foremost, I apologize for the way I spoke to you when last we spoke.
I accept your apology.
Thank you. Raven, there's something wrong with the wraiths here. Over in the Holy Land, the dead are walking.
It isn't just there.
What's happening? I've never seen this before.
Some see it as a sign of the end times. These are the final nights.
I know a guy who would probably agree with that. Maybe I knew him.
Well, it's true. I have never in my own life, and I am admittedly not the oldest, but in my own life I have never seen so many machinations of elders come to fruition. It is as though all at once, and their subconsciousness, they knew that these were the nights where their plotting would have to reach completion. Because if it not now, it will never happen. More elders wake now than any time I have seen. More strange occurrences happen now than any time that I have seen. Have the Tremere told the court what they're doing in Boston? The deals they've made with the Giovanni?
No.
There is something in Boston, and it is causing ripples across the realm of the dead and the living. A great maelstrom is moving, and it will be here soon. And among the dead, this is believed to be their end. No more ghosts. The Tremere are studying it.
Of course they are.
It is a curiosity to them.
These wraiths reconnected to their bodies, and that seemed to be what was animating them. They were wounded. They were whatever this is that drove them back to their bodies.
It is the power of the storm.
It is the storm.
That is the theory.
Based on the Tremere studies.
Yes.
What do the Giovanni have to do with it?
The Giovanni are obsessed with the realm of the dead. And with the help of their Tremere allies, a secret society known as House High Saturday, they are learning the secrets of this storm. And it is said that the storm conceals a voice. Something is in it.
But we don't know.
Right.
Where did this information come from?
Boston.
Were the wraiths talking about it? Did they claim that there's a voice in there? Or is this just conjecture?
I do not know the exacts. Only that the Giovanni are very interested in any medium that they can find, anyone capable of interacting with the underworld who can aid them in their studies. Because the storm is evolving quickly, and there is growing concern that they are going to miss their opportunity before it becomes too dangerous to remain in Boston.
Is there a way to, dive into the storm?
Yes.
You said it's affecting...
Many of the dead were sent into the storm, but none have returned.
None have returned. Okay, well, this isn't good.
Among the dead, there are stories of ancient maelstroms, terrible storms that ravaged the underworld. Some believe that when the sixth comes, there will be no more underworld safe for the dead. This is the sixth great maelstrom.
And it was the House of High Saturday that's looking into this?
Yes, along with the Giovanni. A man by the name of Ambrogino leads this study.
Giovanni?
Yes. I brought this to you because I personally understand very little of the dead, but I am owed favors by the Giovanni.
That. I'm going to keep that in my pocket, if you don't mind.
Do so.
What is it like in Boston right now? Do you know?
On the surface, it is a city, bustling with activity from drunk idiots, businessmen.
How is the maelstrom affecting it?
Well, I cannot see that exactly, but I know that there is an impact.
Sounds like I might need a trip to Boston.
Perhaps. I can extend the offer of these favors to you, but like I said, many elders are attempting to reach the final stages of their personal plans. I am no exception. I seek fragments of a book called the Codex. If you are willing to help me procure pages, in exchange, I will call in favors with the Giovanni.
What is the Codex?
It was once mine, my coven and I.
What's in it?
The great truth, the ability to awaken.
I'll help you with this.
Thank you.
I'm not sure how, but I can try.
Very well. We have an understanding. Is there anything else you wish to discuss?
I think I'm all set for now.
You should tend to your wounds.
I know. They're gifts from the Walking Dead.
I see.
They tried to melt me, is what it felt like. They tried to decompose me. So be mindful of that if you come across these, and I'm guessing you will.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you.
Yes. Wynn kind of leans her head forward and bops Raven on her forehead
She does not resist.
and heads out.
After an exchange of some very feral body language between the two of you, Raven kind of spends the rest of the evening tending to the fire and kind of keeping an eye on the young dumb gangrel that are kind of passing through. You, when you get back to your haven for the day, Joey is there with you as you kind of make sure everything's sunproofed and kind of really get ready to relax. He kind of just sits down next to your little bedding spot and lays down next to your bed.
Good night, buddy.
Good night. Good job against that guy. He was a real dick.
He was, in fact, a real dick, Joey.
He laughs proud of himself.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night, buddy.
Path of Night is an actual play Vampire the Masquerade podcast set in the classic world of darkness. Britta, the unknown new embrace, was played by Rebecca Steigelfest. Johnny Saxon the Bruja was played by Garrett Gabby. Miles Davenport the Ventru was played by Tim Davis. Neil Foster the Malkavian was played by Rob Muirhead. Wynn Cabot the Gangrel was played by Erika Webb. Your storyteller was Lex Lopez. Recording by Rebecca Steigelfest. This episode edited by Rob Muirhead. The music used in this episode was January Grunge Lovefest by Technoaxe. Visit them online at technoaxe.com. TEKNOAX.com. Path of Night uses the 20th Anniversary Edition rule set of Vampire the Masquerade with a few limited house rules. Vampire the Masquerade and the Storyteller system are owned by Paradox Interactive. Make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at @PathOfNightPod, on Facebook at facebook.com/PathOfNightPodcast, or email us at pathofnightpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time, kindred.